What's going on, everybody? It has been 2 years since I've done a Q&A show, and that is far too long. We're going to fix that today. I've got my coffee. I am ready. We're going to cover 3 questions today. We're going to cover how to make conversation with the company CEO in the elevator. Super specific. We're going to cover should you skip small talk altogether and jump to big talk? And we're going to cover how do you make yourself comfortable in front of new people. All right, let's dive in. All right, our first question, how can I make conversation with the company CEO in the elevator? I love the specificity of this question. It's great. I will take a specific question over a generic question all day long. Step 1, just remember that they are a person just like you are. That is a really important first step. Like, yeah, okay, they're the CEO of the company. It might be a 5-person company. It might be a 500-person company. Either way, they're just a person like everyone else. One thing is a little different about a CEO typically, they have less time in their day. So they can't exactly spend a whole lot of time idly chit-chatting, depending on what's going on. Any small talk you make needs to be pretty light and pretty quick. I recommend doing a little bit of recon if you can. Try to find out what kind of hobbies they might have. So if you've seen in their office and they have a gigantic poster of like their kid in a soccer game, like, okay, you might be able to talk with them about soccer. So everyone has tells, like they'll either communicate things that they're interested in. You might pick this up in a meeting here or there. You might see something that is displayed in their office, or you might just hear it around the water cooler. Like, oh yeah, the boss, he's really into XYZ. And it's even better if those interests somewhat overlap with your interest. Like, it doesn't have to be a perfect match. Maybe you're not into soccer, but you are into sports. And so that is a common interest. So you can mention a soccer match score in the elevator. It could be any number of things. Try to find that overlap between your interests and their interest. And if you feel like you're a little deficient on the amount of interest that you have, a good way to fix that is something I call the iceberg effect, knowing a little bit about a lot. So exposing yourself to a lot of different things through podcasts, classes that you might take, articles that you read. Just expose yourself to a lot of different interests. You don't have to go super deep on every single interest because who has that kind of time? But knowing a little bit about a lot will give you a really good foundation so you can talk to a lot of different people about different topics. They could be a CEO, they could just be your coworker. The more diversified your interests are, the easier it'll be to connect with people around you. Are you going to get into a nice round of small talk the first time you see the boss in the elevator? Probably not. I wouldn't expect you to. But over time, especially if you're in the elevator every once in a while and you guys cross paths and you just have a little comment to throw out there, saying good morning, like you're building that foundation. And that's really important because over time, the more familiar we are with people, the more comfortable we are around them. And it's easier to have small talk with people that we're comfortable with. Good luck making conversation with the CEO. I hope you get promoted ASAP. Okay, our next question. Should you skip small talk? I hate small talk. I think in the end it's pointless and it goes nowhere. But the thing is, I'm good at it. When I meet someone new, I can never really get past the small talk phase very easily. How can I go straight to the big talk and connect deeper with the new people I meet without sounding random or awkward? So a tell, and I see this a lot because at this point I've been doing Become More Compelling for 6 years, a long time. When people say I hate small talk, that typically means that they are deficient at that skill. Now this person says that they're really good. It's hard to know without actually observing them in action, but the reality is small talk serves a very valuable purpose. So it is warming up the conversation. I always give the boiling water analogy. So a pot of water only boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is Celsius. Siri, what's 212 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
The boiling point of water is 99.9839 degrees Celsius.
So when we small talk with people, it is extremely important because we're warming up that conversation and we're testing the waters with a new person to see, hey, how socially adaptable is this person? Are they the kind of person that I could see myself spending a little bit more time in conversation with? It might sound a little harsh, but that is what is going on. So we can't boil water until we get up to that 212 degree 100 Celsius level. Well, we're not going to go deep with people right off the bat. jumping right into big talk, I wouldn't recommend that, because if you come at someone and you're asking them a super deep question, hey, what's your deepest, darkest fear? Like, asking those kinds of questions gonna make people a little bit uncomfortable. We need to warm up that relationship, so small talk serves a really important purpose. People who struggle with going deeper with folks, they won't really share much about themselves. So they won't give any information about themselves. And who knows where this comes from. This might be a fear of like, oh, I don't want to be judged. It might be something else. But the more you can jump from kind of facts that are like, oh, it was hot today, to feelings like, oh man, it is so hot that like I just want to curl up in a ball and douse myself with ice water. The more you jump from facts to feelings, you're starting to go deeper. Like, you're starting to go deeper than surface level. And that's a good way to start to have those deeper conversations. So if you've been hanging out for a little bit and someone shared a story and you could tell that like it was a little bit more of a personal story, it's okay to ask, hey, so at that moment, like, what was going through your mind? And really try to place them back in that moment so they can share those feelings with you. And that is getting you deeper than kind of that surface level, like, oh, it was hot today. Oh, here's what I do for work. It goes deeper than that. But keep in mind that you are gonna have to share more about yourself. A good way to do that, there's a breakdown I did on telling a story and kind of the story framework. And so you can look at that episode of Compelling Convos. That'll be a really good starting point for you. So a lot of times it just boils down to telling more about yourself. It might be in the form of a story, and asking some of those questions that touch on those feelings. And like our CEO question, you might just have to show up and have small talk with them a few times. You know, when I look back at my life and I think of the deeper conversations I've had with friends, did that happen in the first 5 minutes? No. Did it happen in the first 5 meetings? Maybe not. Maybe it took us hanging out and spending that accrued time together. If you think of how like a lawyer might bill you per hour, you have to accrue a certain amount of hours with another human being before you can go deeper. We're naturally gonna go deeper with people that we've known longer. All right, gonna need a refuel here. All right, our final question. How can I be more comfortable around new people? Really important one. New job, new group of friends, a Zoom meeting. Like, there are a lot of situations in life where there are new people thrown into the mix, and it's really important to be comfortable around those new people. So what can we do? So it's important to realize that there's a part of every person in either big or small measures that wants to be accepted by other people. You have this trait, so do I. Everyone has this to a certain extent because humans are a social species. This is actually really good news. So not only do I want to make a good first impression on a new person, that other person probably wants to make a good first impression on me. I don't think there's anyone that walks around saying, hey, I want to make a bad first impression. Everyone has that trait. Suddenly the playing field is super level, and that makes it easier to feel more comfortable when you're around new people. I've talked about the spotlight effect before, that notion of, oh, everyone's watching me, everyone's judging me, and that's not necessarily true. We overestimate and overemphasize how much other people pay attention to us. I think that's also really important to keep in mind, because if we're super concerned about like, oh, everyone must be looking at me and judging me harshly, that's not gonna make us feel very comfortable. Something I tell my private coaching clients is focus on your strengths before an interaction. Everyone has a strength that they can bring to a social interaction. Maybe you are a great listener. Maybe you are funny and witty, and that's awesome to bring to a social interaction. Maybe you can tell a good story. Whatever your particular strength happens to be, focus on that before an interaction rather than like all the things that you maybe feel like you aren't skilled in. Focus on things that you can bring to the table in an interaction, things that you are strong in, and focus on past successes. So last week, if you cracked a joke and everyone laughed, like, great, key in on that, because that's super important. The more we focus on our wins and try to learn from our losses, the better off we'll be. And during the interaction, focus on the other person and less on yourself. So one of the worst positions to be in a social interaction is being in your head and not in the room. Focusing on all the things that are going on internally and thinking about, oh, you know, this shirt is uncomfortable. I wonder if they like me. I shouldn't have said that thing a second ago. When you're wrapped up into that stuff, it is basically impossible to be present in the interaction and be a good listener and ask those good questions and make those observations about the other person. It's really difficult. So the less you can self-monitor and the more you can focus on the other person, the better. And one of the best ways to do that is just put everything internally aside. And so just think to yourself like, okay, you know what? People don't notice me as much as I think they do. And that's actually a fantastic thing. So I can focus on being a good listener and asking some questions about the other person, being interested in what they say, and making observations about the stories they tell. If you can be interested in the other person, then that is taking all the focus away from you and putting it on the other person. And that is a really good position to play from. The other person is going to walk away saying, yeah, you know what? All week, I haven't felt like anyone's listening to me, but this person, they actually listened and I feel heard. And that is a really good impression to leave on anyone. All right, those are the questions that I wanted to answer for you guys. So a couple of different things you can do to get me a question or a topic suggestion for a future video. You can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter at the Jeff Callahan with 2 L's. You can send me an email at jeff@becomemorecompelling.com, or you can drop a comment below the like button and I'll cover what you want on a future episode. Don't forget to gently hit the like button. We don't want to break it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next episode. Talk soon. Hey, a couple of quick things before you leave. One, I've got a subscribe button over here. If you like this video and you don't want to miss out on a future video, hit that subscribe button. Two, if you like this video, hit the like button. That helps other awesome people like you find it. And three, leave a comment if you have any feedback for me, or if you have a topic or suggestion that you want me to cover in a future video. Thanks.